Hey, what's up, guys? Dante here. Just wanted to put my thoughts on video. I know I've talked on stream a couple times about this, and when me and Hayden were at the combine, and to a couple of our other friends, just wanted to explain why I have such a big issue with Marvin Harrison really not doing anything. He just didn't do anything at the combine other than interview, and same thing with his pro day. He didn't compete at all. I have a problem with that, and I'm not saying that he's a bad kid and things like that. Everybody knows he's quiet and what he's done, and I'm not disregarding the fact that what he did on the field is what he did, and we saw it. And I still, regardless of what happens, I have him as my top rated wide receiver. What I saw today on ESPN was an interview with him and his dad at their pro day. His dad said, there was a question that was asked pretty much of why haven't you been working out at this point? That's the big elephant in the room. And his dad spoke for him. He said, well, I felt like that if Marv wanted to be the ultimate pro of pros, what he would do is just rest this period, because that's what the pro wide receivers are doing. And, we'll worry about everything outside of that. The reason why I have a big issue with it is because Marvin is not a pro wide receiver yet. He's not. None of these kids are that are getting drafted until they get their name called and they go through the training camps and the OTAs and things like that. I get that his dad is a pro, and I was a big fan of Marvin Harrison Sr. when he was playing. The old saying goes, sometimes you have to experience things on your own. The matter of the fact is nothing is a guarantee in life, regardless of how much we've watched the film, how much we think that we have experience with something. Things can turn out to be the worst. Like, for example, Chase Young was supposed to be this all otherworldly edge rusher, and he's just been okay in his career. I mean, obviously battled some injuries, but it's just an example of like things don't always turn out to be the way that you think that they're going to be. The other thing that I have an issue with is like, why is everybody representing Marv and Marv's not really representing himself? So, especially like with the combine and his pro day, was that all his decision, or was he just listening to everybody else just saying, you got nothing else to prove? He's still a college guy. Maybe he wants to experience that with his teammates. Maybe he wants to go out there. But because you have such a big force and not only a Hall of Fame dad, and then, of course, your agents and things like that, they're telling you not to do it, that you proved enough, it's going to give you that stipulation, I think, just a little bit on your shoulder that I can just get away with it because I'm Marvin Harrison Jr. and I got it. Not the fact that it's his mindset. It's just what this gives off to me. Again, if you disagree, that's fine. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. I'm just kind of putting my thoughts on video, just kind of giving you another perspective. Malik Neighbors came out and said that he was going to compete at his pro day. We know he didn't compete at the combine at all. Rome Odunze did the combine, and I believe he's going to do his pro day. These guys are competing. These guys are showing what they have. They got everything to lose. Yes, they can risk injury and things like that. I love guys like this, and don't be surprised if Malik Neighbors is the first wide receiver chosen off the board if he actually kills it at his pro day. It's because you've given nothing to NFL guys at all. I'm talking about Marvin Harrison. You give him nothing to see, to solidify your space, to solidify your time in the offseason to see that you've actually been trying to get better. The reason why I think it's so important on the other side of that, there's coaches and things at these combines. You have NFL guys that come out at the pro day. I mean, you constantly seeing like the Bill Belichick's of the world going to pro days and kind of just telling the player, hey, I'd like to see this. I'd like to see that out of you. You have no coaching opportunities in the offseason other than your dad. I mean, you probably hired a coach, but you get exposure not only to other teammates, you can teach them stuff. They can teach you things. You can ask them questions. You build relationships. That's the big thing about like being on a team. You have to build relationships with people too. And this could be a time of your life where you're making friends. Like, let's just say him, Rome Odunze, and Malik Neighbors all go out there and ball out. This would be a wide receiver class for the ages, and they can all be friends because of that. But that's just the personal side. Getting more towards the business side, you get exposure to all kinds of things with coaches. I mean, and that's like the main thing with me is, they're going to teach you things that you might not have known before. It's the same thing with like MMA fighters. Can't stay at the same camp your whole career. You got to go to other camps and experience other things. It makes you better as an athlete. Despite all that, I still think Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best receiver. What we've seen on film is what we've seen on film. The speed, the athleticism, how much he's so much bigger, faster, stronger, everything than his dad. To have that connotation that he's going to be better, of course I get it. But I don't want that to be understated that I still think that he's wide receiver number one. I just think realistically there could be a possibility that Malik Neighbors Neighbors gets chosen number 1 because he decided to do these little things when Marv didn't. Now, the other thing that I'll also have a problem with, and I think I'll end it with this, is Marvin Harrison Sr. said that they've asked NFL teams, was it okay if they skipped the combine and workouts? And of course, they were going to say yes. Marvin Harrison Sr. giving you a call and things like that, you know, you might tend to be like, okay, yeah, it's fine. We know that you're going to have him ready to go. What if that was just a test and he fell on his face and he failed the test completely? I don't understand why teams would say, no, don't go and compete with other people. Don't go and be upfront about your measurables and how fast you really are. Like, don't show us that you're not coachable enough to be at these events. Like, that's the type of stuff that you just don't know. Teams will tell you one thing, and Marv, out of all people, should know. Like, teams will tell you one thing, scouts will tell you one thing, like even your job, they'll tell you one thing to see how you're going to react and see how you're going to do. And it's just the other side of the coin where Marvin Harrison Jr. may have taken the bait and totally fell flat on his face, and that was just enough for them to one team to take. The Arizona Cardinals, for example, which is a popular spot where they said Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to go. It might be Malik Neighbors now because of just that one thing. So you never know the connotation that you're giving off. You never know the situation that you're going to be in. So life is about the choices that you make, and this could be a catastrophic choice for him if he wants to be chosen to another team. Or now here's the other side of it. If you stayed through this video, maybe this is a smoke screen that he doesn't want to go to any of those weak teams, and maybe wants to go somewhere later, and he's doing everything in his power to see if he can get a couple spots down to be chosen by another team that may have a better chance to compete. The world works in funny ways, people. You never know. But I just want to put my thoughts on video, man. And I don't know if you guys are going to agree or disagree, but let's just have a healthy discussion. This is just how I feel about it. I like to see players compete. I like to see them doing everything that they can because it shows an initiative, that they're willing to take a risk and they're willing to bet on themselves. And that's, if I was a GM, if I was a coach, that would be very attractive to me for the player that I want to be the future of our team at that specific position. But hey, man, appreciate you guys watching this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll talk to you guys later, man.